Daniel Morgan was a private investigator who was murdered with an axe in a South London pub car park in 1987. Those who are responsible have managed to escape justice to this day. Police say that they have followed thousands of lines of inquiry and 6 extensive investigations conducted with numerous alleged independent assessments and 5 forensic reviews. However, in 2021, an independent review into the handling of the investigation of Morgan's killing by the Metropolitan Police was published. It found that the Met Police had a form of institutional corruption, which had concealed or denied failings into the case. No. I simply cannot believe that the Met, or any other police force for that matter, would cover up or deny their failures rather than simply admitting that they were wrong and accepting the punishment. The report included criticism of Metropolitan Police Commissioner Cressida Dick and Assistant Commissioner when the review was announced for failing to provide access to information to the panel over a 7-year period. Well, even 35 years later, the Met refused to admit the corruption, as they have apparently insisted that the Met can be the police service that London deserves, even though the findings from an inquiry that it is institutionally corrupt are yet to be proven wrong. At the time of the report being published, Cressida Dick apologised to Mr Morgan's family, who are suing the Met, saying it was a matter of great regret that no one has been brought to justice and that our mistakes have compounded the pain suffered by Daniel's family, which was no doubt an unsincere apology written by one of the force's PR departments. Publishing its formal response to the independent inquiry's findings on Friday, the Met said it accepted recommendations and have been working to address them. It comes after the London Assembly Police and Crime Committee called on the Independent Office for Police Conduct to decide whether it will launch an investigation into Dame Cressida as a matter of urgency, saying the inquiry raised serious questions about the conduct of the Commissioner. The Metropolitan Police said it has improved significantly in the past 35 years, but that in no way brings consolation to Daniel's family, who have been badly let down, adding, "We remain committed to getting justice for his family." It accepted corruption was a major factor in the failings of the first investigation, but do not accept that they are institutionally corrupt, as has been suggested. It did, however, admit some officers may be vulnerable to corruption. Some fucking officers, my God. You'd be hard-pressed to find a single one who hasn't committed some kind of corruption, you absolute jokers. They said the force was working hard to root this out, adding, "We don't want corrupt officers, and our anti-corruption command is finding these individuals, investigating them and clearing them out." To be fair, the anti-corruption command at the Met is either the busiest department out of every department in every police force, or the quietest. I guess we'll have to wait and see what else comes to light over the next year or so. Deputy Assistant Commissioner Barbara Gray, who leads the response to the report, said there is undoubtedly more to do, but Londoners should be reassured by our work to address the report. We will use our response to these recommendations, as well as our commitments, to build trust and confidence more generally to the police service that London deserves. Another forensic review of evidence linked to Daniel Morgan's case has now been commissioned. The Met said that those responsible for the murder have managed to escape justice, for now, but insisted it had not given up on the case, adding, "There still remains a possibility of solving this murder. Our work to make that happen will not stop no matter how much time passes." A £50,000 cash reward for information leading to a successful prosecution, one of the largest rewards ever made available by a UK police force, is still being offered. The IOPC said, "We are undertaking our own assessment to determine whether there are any conduct matters identified within the report for any named police officer, including the Commissioner and former Commissioners, that may require a referral to us." Well, at least when someone points out, or I find out that I've done something wrong, I act on it. It's a shame the Met feel that they're so untouchable they can get away with practically anything, and even if they don't, those at the top still get away with it whilst throwing cannon fodder constables into the line of fire. Now, to add salt to the wound, and some vinegar, some lemon juice, maybe some citric acid too for good measure, the failure that was Cressida Dick is holding up the appointment of a new commissioner due to the fact that the poisonous little rat won't simply fuck off and crawl under a rock. Dick, who said she was standing down before the start of her 2-year extension as commissioner, is refusing to accept her payoff without being paid for the 2 years she hasn't even fucking worked. I mean, the fucking front of it, demanding that on top of the pension and payout that is more than 90% of the people in this country would ever see in the lifetime of working. Cheeky bitch. To be fair, Khan is arguing that she should go without the extra payment, but it's probably just a political move. However, Dick is understood to be protesting that she was effectively dismissed by the mayor through his public rubbishing of her performance and withdrawal of support, and she is entitled as a matter of principle to have the terms of her contract honoured. Well, we as the public are entitled, as a matter of principle, to have a commissioner of the Metropolitan Police that knows how to do its fucking job. Personally, I'd be grateful if I were you that you weren't lynched, Cressida Dick. The amount of people's lives that you have affected adversely under your watch is probably far too many to count. And if you hadn't had the largest gang of thugs, too scared to stand up to you, around you, protecting you, then I dare say you'd be swinging like a piñata over the QE2 bridge. The issue remains deadlocked almost 5 weeks after her departure was first announced, and means no date for her exit from Scotland Yard, where she remains in charge temporarily. And what's going to happen is the government will simply agree to pay her as she effectively has them over a barrel. And they have to ultimately keep her there until she leaves in order to assign a new commissioner, or else they could see themselves in a tribunal, and we, the taxpayers, could be paying more of our tax to a compensation payout to that clever Dick. Deputy Commissioner Sir Stephen House has accused Khan of acting unlawfully over Dick's resignation by failing to follow the clear procedure laid out in statutes to allow for the replacement of the police chief officer. Well, I'll tell you what, Mr. House, go and arrest him. If he's failed to follow statute, go and nick him rather than talking about being hard done by. I mean, you constantly enforce acts and statutes as policy enforcers on the general public, so go do your fucking job. Or is it just us plebs who have statutes enforced against us? What a bunch of absolute fucktards. Every one of them needs to be gone, in my opinion. Big thank you to channel supporters, especially these guys. Your support is truly appreciated. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts, as I know many of you will. And until next time, stay safe, look after each other, film the police and other officials.